motions for Theo to stand up, but Theo just keeps spinning in my desk chair. Atlas is the one who called me in here. He needed advice. I'll never understand what this is, Brad says, pointing between me and Theo. What advice do you get from my son? How to avoid your chores and win at Minecraft? Theo stands up and stretches his arms over his head. Girls, actually. And winning isn't the point of Minecraft, Dad. It's more of a sandbox game. Theo looks over his shoulder at me as he's leaving my office. Just text her. He says that like it's the obvious solution. Maybe it is. Brad yanks him away from the door. I settle back into my desk chair and stare at my blank phone screen. Maybe she memorized the wrong number. I open her contact and hesitate. Theo could be right. I could have come on too strong this morning. We didn't say much when we ran into each other, but what we did say had meaning and intent. Maybe that scared her. Or maybe I'm right and she memorized the wrong number. My fingers hover over my phone's keyboard. I want to text her, but I don't want to pressure her. However, she and I both know our lives would have turned out so different if I hadn't made so many missteps with her in the past. I spent years making excuses for why my life wasn't good enough for her to be a part of it. But Lily always fit. She was a perfect fit. I refused to let her walk away this time without a little more effort on my part. I'll start with making sure she has my correct number. It was good seeing you today, Lily. I wait to see if she's going to text me back. When I see the 3 dots pop up, I hold my breath in anticipation. You too. I stare at her response for way too long, hoping it'll be accompanied by another text. But it isn't. That's all I'm getting. It's only 2 words, but I can read between the lines. I sigh in defeat and drop my phone onto my desk. Chapter 4. Lily. Mine and Ryle's situation has been an unconventional one since Emerson was born. I don't think many couples file divorce papers at the same time they sign their newborn's birth certificate. As much as I was disappointed in Ryle for being the thing that forced me to have to make the decision to end our marriage, I didn't want to prevent him from bonding with their daughter. I cooperate with him as much as I can since his schedule is so hectic. I sometimes even take her to his work to visit him on his lunch break. He's also had a key to my place since before Emerson was born. I only gave it to him because I lived alone and was afraid I'd go into labor and he'd need access to the apartment. But he never gave the key back after her birth, even though I've been meaning to ask him for it. He sometimes uses it on the rare occasions he has a late surgery and has extra time to spend with Emmy in the mornings after I head to work. That's why I haven't asked for it back. But lately, he's been using the key to bring Emmy home. He texted me just before I closed the shop earlier and told me Emmy was tired, so he was taking her to my place to put her to bed. The frequency he's been using the key lately is making me wonder if Emmy's the only one he's trying to non-existent. I attribute that to the list I wrote of all the reasons why I chose to divorce him. Sometimes after he leaves, I go to my bedroom and read it to reiterate that this arrangement is the best one for all of us. Well, maybe not this exact arrangement. I'd still like my key returned to me. I'm about to take another bite of noodles when I hear a muffled bang come from my purse across the table. I drop my fork and quickly reach my phone before Ryle does. Not that he would read my texts, but the last thing I want right now is for him to even try to be polite by handing me my phone. He might see that the text is from Atlas, and I'm not prepared for the storm that would bring. The text isn't from Atlas, though. It's from my mother. She's sending pics of Emmy she took earlier this week. I set the phone down and pick up my fork. But Ryle is staring at me. It was my mother, I say. I don't know why I even say that. I don't owe him an explanation. But I don't like the way he's staring at me. Who are you hoping it would be? You practically lunged across the table for your phone. No one. I take a drink. He's still staring at me. I have no idea how well Ryle can read me, but it looks like he knows I'm lying. He spins his fork in his noodles and looks down at his plate with the hardened jaw. Are you seeing someone? There's an edge to his voice now. Not that it's any of your business, but no. Not saying it is my business, just having a casual conversation. I don't respond to that because it's a lie. Any recently divorced husband asking his ex-wife if she's seeing someone is making anything but casual conversation. I do think we need to have a more serious conversation at some point about dating, he says, before either of us brings other people around Emerson. Maybe lay some ground rules. I nod. I think we need to lay ground rules for a lot more than just that. His eyes narrow. Like what? Your access to my apartment. I swallow. I'd like my key back. Ryle stares stoically before he responds. Then he wipes his mouth and says, I can't put my daughter to bed. That's not what I'm saying at all. You know my schedule is crazy, Lily. I hardly get to see her as it is. I'm not saying I want you to see her any less. I just want my key back. I value my privacy. Ryle's expression is tight. He's upset with me. I knew he would be. But he's making this into more than it is. It has nothing to do with how much I want him to see Emmy. I just don't want him having easy access to my apartment. I moved out and divorced him for a reason. It's not going to be a huge change, but it's one that needs to happen, or we'll be stuck in this unhealthy routine forever. I'll just start keeping her overnight then. He says it with such conviction while eyeing me for a reaction. I know he can feel the discomfort I'm suddenly drowning in. I keep my voice calm. I don't think I'm ready for that. Ryle drops his fork on his plate with a thud. Maybe we need to modify the custody arrangement. Those words infuriate me, but I somehow prevent my rage from boiling over. I stand up and pick up my plate. Really, Ryle? I asked for the key to my apartment back and you threatened me with court. We agreed on this arrangement, but he's acting like that was for my benefit rather than his. He knows I could have taken him to court for sole custody over everything he put me through. Hell, I never even had him arrested. He should be grateful I've been as generous as I have. When I get to the kitchen, I set down my plate and grip the edges of the counter, allowing my head to drop between my shoulders. Calm down, Lily. He's just reacting. I hear Ryle sigh regretfully, and then he follows me into the kitchen. I lean against the counter while I He slapped you because you laughed. He pushed you down a flight of stairs. He bit you. He tried to force himself on you. You had to get stitches because of him. Your husband physically hurt you more than once. It would have happened again and again. You did this for your daughter. I ran my finger over the tattoo on my shoulder, feeling the small scars he left there with his teeth. If Ryle did these things to me at the highest point of our relationship,